So what you're about to see here is a little play that we wrote about my parents' exodus. So the family is going to act it out for you.
Vienna, Austria, mid-1930s. A young couple meets at a socialist youth group meeting. The group's dynamic leader, Ernst Papanek, is convinced that young people can make the world a better place. Fritz is a furniture maker. Trudy comes from a long line of dressmakers. But is now a medical student at the University of Vienna. They talk about helping to create a fair and just world where wealth is divided evenly and everyone has enough. Fritz's family came to Vienna from Galicia in Poland in 1862, when the laws restricting Jews from moving were temporarily lifted. The Jews who came to Vienna fell into three groups: those who brought the practices of Judaism with them and kept them up, those who converted to Catholicism, and those who stopped practicing any religion at all. Fritz's family was part of the third group, who completely assimilated into secular Viennese society. So when Fritz walks down the street one day, he is surprised when a passing German soldier spits on his shoe. March 12th, 1938. Nazi Germany annexes Austria and invades Vienna. March 13th, 1938. Fritz opens his furniture shop as usual. Then,
Fritz, I'm sorry to tell you, your name is on the list. You should leave Vienna immediately.
10 minutes later, carrying one small suitcase, Fritz locks the door of his shop and hangs a sign on it saying, "Back in 10 minutes." He walks out of the city of Vienna, through the Austrian countryside and into the Alps. Days and nights pass. He walks on, up and down, higher and higher, staying in small hikers' cabins at night, until he crosses the mountains into Italy. Then he takes a train to Paris. Meanwhile, Trudy packs her own suitcase. And takes a train through Switzerland to meet him in Paris. They live in Paris for only a year before the Germans invade.
Oh no, not again.
Then, along with many thousands of people, they move to the south of France. They begin their southward journey on a bicycle, but it breaks along the way. And then they ride on the backs of trucks or walk, each carrying a suitcase. At last they come to Marseille, where Ernst Papanek is gathering as many of the people from their youth group as can be found. The young refugees are sent to many small villages where they will live in hiding until the war is over.
Fritz and Trudy, you will live in Versailles.
Fritz and Trudy move into an old farmhouse with another young couple. They have chickens and ducks, and they are happy.
No.
Fritz's sister Ida marries and moves to America, where she manages to get affidavits and visas for Fritz and Trudy to join her. But they aren't interested.
We like living in the country of France.
They feel safe because they have an arrangement with a postmistress. If their identity is ever compromised, she will close the shutters of her apartment on the second floor of the post office. October 1942. One evening, Fritz is walking home from his job as a lumberjack when he sees that the shutters are closed.
Someone knows we're here. Pack your suitcase. We're going to America.
Fritz and Trudy pack their suitcases and catch a train heading west. For the third time, they leave all their belongings behind. As the train nears the border between France and Spain, an officer with one arm asks to see their passports.
Let me see your passports.
He looks at them closely, tucks them into an inner pocket of his jacket, and walks away. No passports, and the border so near.
I'm worried. Will you give them back? I don't know. What will we do? What will you do?
Another officer comes into the railroad car and stops beside Fritz and Trudy. He takes 2 passports from his pocket and hands them to the young couple. Opening them up, they see their own pictures beside different non-Jewish names.
This is not my name. This is not my name.
They enter Franco's Spain under false names. Just as the train is about to leave Spain and enter Portugal, the one-armed officer returns and hands them their own passports. They enter Portugal under their own names. If the resistance hadn't protected them, Fritz and Trudy would never have reached Lisbon to board the ship that took them to Philadelphia, where some years later their daughter Eve was born. And Eve's daughter Elisa and her own 3 boys, Jeremy, Liam, and Cameron, might never have come along at all.